Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hold on. Hello, everybody. How you doing? It is Paint of Heart. You are here because it is Tuesday. Hi, Colton.
Hi.
Why
How are
is
you?
my camera showing something that is no longer on my camera? Hold on. We need to fix that. Where
Don't you
is...
just love technology?
Yeah, I just don't know why it's there, because it's definitely not what's on my camera anymore. I don't have a hard drive sitting on my camera or my table right now. I definitely have something that is more interesting than that.
Do you have a secret third camera that is
Not
magically
there. My phone is also like right next to me.
Strange.
Let's
the
see if I
machine's
can...
spirits are angered.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Freaking tech gremlins. Tell you what. Let's see. This one. Oh! It's because I had a picture of my video, apparently.
Nice.
I don't
Love
know
that.
how that happened. Hi, everybody. You can see my hand now. It exists. Because I have a mini. Hi, everyone. Let's take a moment to refocus up. I'm Angela. This is Colton. And this is Paint of Heart,
Hi.
our chill little hangout stream. Yes, let's call it exclusive behind-the-scenes features for all of you, instead of a tech gremlin. Let's do that. So, we are going to be doing a little fun painting today. I'm so excited. It's been a while.
It has. It's been too long, one might say.
We've been preparing for this. All holiday.
Yes.
And not many of you can see this, but I'll turn. We have a whiskey with us today.
Aww.
Except for in a really close-up of my arm. Hi, buddy. Oh, thank you. I have some treats next to me, which is why he's bothering me. So if anybody wants to give bits or subscribe or donate to the stream via our Streamlabs link, I will give him a treat. Yeah. Like you didn't already have a bunch of them. So we are working on, I'm working on a D&D, and Colton is working on a Warhammer piece.
Yes.
And we're just gonna vibe today. And if anybody in chat, I'm really loud, I apologize. If anybody in chat has a craft that they're working on, please do share. We are available in the Discord chat, in the Arts and Crafting channel. And you can find that in the link in chat. And we'll show off what you got. It'll be fun. If you have pictures, feel free. So I'm working on kind of a two-piece. It's a little bit of a build. I'd say a Valkyrie or an Angel or maybe Dame Aelin from Baldur's Gate. We'll just call it that. It's an angel, regardless. And I have these wings that there's a little hole in the back of the figure. So I'm gonna have to super glue that in when we're done. But they're gonna be magnificent. I'm actually really pleased with how these wings came out. I painted them white. And where's my focus here?
Ooh, yeah, that looks very nice.
I'm really thrown off here. Let's fix that. That's better. There we go. No, not better? Okay. So I painted them white and then did a blue ink finish on them. So they came out really cool. And I will have to paint the ribbon on the back. I'll have to decide on some colors. But I did some initial painting on this thing a while ago, and I've decided I wanna finish it up, make it look a little nicer, maybe play around with some maybe do some antiquing on the metal. Would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be
Not sure what I want to do yet. Mouse's medicine is finally kicking in, so they might work on a map and incarnate eventually tonight. Hi, bud.
That would be fun.
What's up, sir? Can't be here all night. Whiskey is very insistent, and he's very hopeful. So what did you do this holiday break, Colton?
Oh, goodness.
Anything interesting? No. Oh, that's
I cooked a lot, which was nice.
That's cool.
I think I finally surpassed my mother's pot roast recipe, so I was proud of that.
Shit.
Yeah.
The apprentice has become the master.
But yeah, I read a lot. And that was fun, though I do that a lot normally, so I don't really think that's necessarily like a holiday thing. Yeah, all in all, just kind of existed. I don't know what I'm going to be doing because for some inexplicable reason my university doesn't begin classes until the 18th.
Oh goodness.
So I just like, I don't know. It's weird. But, you know, it should be fun. What did you do over the holidays?
Slept. That was a big one.
Nice.
I had I decorated for the holiday. Don't usually do that, so that was a change of pace. And it was really low key, like super low key. We
Those are the best.
Yeah, we were just relaxing. Why are you changing? There we go. I don't know why it's doing that. It's freezing on me all the time. All right. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of paint testing.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is I'm taking this yogurt container. Or I guess it wasn't a yogurt container. It's one of those Sargento adult Lunchables.
Ooh, I love those. They're delicious.
And I'm gonna paint a little bit of my beautiful silver. I hate to paint a piece of plastic with this, but I want to test out what different high contrast paints look like on it before I decide what I want to do. Basically, trying to figure out a painting technique. I have to decide what color the armor should be. I'll set this aside. I'll let that. So, you told me you had a book you started reading.
Yes, I did.
You finally delved into the narrative fandom of Warhammer?
I did, and it did not disappoint.
Delightful. Glad to hear it.
So, this book, Forges of Mars, by Graham McNeil, is actually a full series called Priests, Lords, and Gods of Mars, respectively.
Okay.
And it's fun. It's great. I think it's probably in my top 2, if you're considering that one book. Top 4, I guess, if you're looking at each book as, individual books. But why would you do that?
Why? Can't imagine.
In my sort of like list of franchised science fiction that I really like. My favorite is, of course, Traitor by Matthew Stover, which is from the Star Wars Legends books, that regards the Yuzong Vong invasion.
Nice.
But this is a very close second. The prose is very beautiful. The story is interesting. I like most of the characters. So, like, it's good. It's good. Yeah, I'm very much enjoying it so far. And also I love the Adeptus Mechanicus, which are the red cloaked tech priests of Mars, that this book follows. They're fun. They're all ridiculous. Because a big part of their religion, which is the same religion as the Empire, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's not heresy.
Yeah, totally.
Just ignore the fact that they technically worship a different god. The Emperor does. They believe in transhumanism, and a lot of the empire of mankind in 40K is transhumanist.
Now,
right?
the idea with transhumanism isn't that like humans transcending their physicality with like cybernetics and stuff? Things like that, or what is it in the universe?
In that universe, definitely. It involves a lot of so transhumanism is the belief that we should use technology to improve the human condition through, depending on your exact definition, invasive means. A lot of philosophers and scientists believe that the first piece of transhumanism was the birth control pill.
Interesting.
Right? It is a piece of technology
it fundamentally alters the human condition. The fact that you can prevent pregnancy.
Precisely, yeah.
Through technology.
But a lot of transhumanists in transhumanism literature involves often like cyborgs and other like computerized.
I became a lot more aware of transhumanism from the Orphan Black TV series.
Yes, yeah.
So there was like an entire evolution group
Sure.
that were about like a lot of it was like cosmetic, but it was with the hopes of eventually creating functional cybernetic and technological improvements to humans.
Right. So that's transhumanism in a very small nutshell. But the tech priests of Mars, they worship the Omnissiah, the god of machines. And as part of their religion, they believe in replacing their body with machines to bring them closer to communion with their god.
Gotcha.
Right.
Sure.
And they're just so fun. There's this one guy, let me get his name. It's Azure Magelli, I think.
That is
Azura Magelli, yeah. Named, of course, because another thing I love about Warhammer is Warhammer names are even dumber than Star Wars names.
Incredible.
And this guy, Azura Magelli, is named, of course, after Magellan.
I was gonna say
the navigator, and he's the navigator of the main vessel in the story, and he's essentially 5 jars, each with a bit of brain in it. And he has a bunch of like little.
He's 5
arms.
jars in a trench coat.
Yeah,
I love it.
And they're all just so bitchy, and it's great, right? They're just having a good time. In their massive forge temples. And there's just some really interesting like philosophy in the book as well.
Sure.
Because fun fact, kids, Warhammer 40K is political.
Crazy.
I know, who could have possibly guessed?
That a war game would be political.
Yeah. But it talks a lot about like full advancements and like I don't know, because another big part of this is that in the Empire, because of how the warp works, which I don't think we have time to get into, all AI is heretical. It's fully banned. It's not to be allowed.
Mm-hmm.
And so all calculations, everything is done by servitors, which are people that have been usually lobotomized, plugged with a bunch of computers, and then that's how they get around the whole thinking machines thing.
You just don't let them think.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, you get the brain inside the meat body to think for the computers.
Sure.
Yeah.
If anybody is curious, what I'm doing right now is I am waiting for this silver to dry, while using a little bit of liquid green stuff, which is like a very fine clay, super watered down. And what I'm doing is I'm filling in. It looks like I'm painting the ogre green, but I'm not. I'm filling in the construction cracks around him. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
No,
I realized I was
fine.
like a ways through this without any explanation of what I was doing.
Yes, so so, you know, and how they get these servitors is, well, the cheapest thing in the Empire is human life, right?
Sure.
A human costs less than a bullet. Which is why, you know, the Empire uses numbers for the most part, excluding Space Marines, to fight. They just send trillions of people into war every day. But they just will, when they need servitors or bondsmen or anyone, they will just gather a bunch of people, depending on the world. Some people, it would just be like straight criminals, which still isn't good. Otherwise, they'll just round up people and be like, all right, you're gonna be a servitor now, have fun. And then
Jesus,
lobotomy time. It's
fun.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, no one's saying that the Empire is a good thing.
Yeah, in fact, arguably the books are trying to say the Empire is a bad thing. They, from what I've heard, they have middling success at it.
Because they're still making like giant super soldiers, and that's kind of a power fantasy.
Yeah, because the thing about fascism is that it's aesthetic. It's an aesthetic philosophy. That's
something that I don't think a lot of people who are not in political science or philosophy talk about. That is a kind of vital aspect of fascism.
Yes, it requires things to look big and strong and powerful. It doesn't matter if they are, or if those looks are technically critiquing fascism. Well, either. That it's the aesthetic. It's not what they're saying. Right. It's how they look. So when fascist chuds look at Warhammer, even though every single thing in every single thing says that, hey, the Empire is bad, fascists will say, you know, I like the way they think. Yeah, exactly. Like, have you seen the giant eagles everywhere? That's neat.
Yeah. It kind of speaks to what I've said before about people cosplaying the Empire in Star Wars.
Yes.
It's like, oh, stormtroopers are so rad. I'm like, they're fascist.
They're literally named after Nazis.
Yeah.
Because the stormtrooper was a type of military unit in World War II for the
but the idea of aesthetics being such an important facet of it, that you are when fascism deals in big ideas but without much sort of substance for the average person. They're dealing in, we want you to fear something, we want you to hate something. Well, specifically, we want you to hate someone, we want you to fear someone.
Yeah.
And so it plays up the, that's why nationalism and fascism are so interconnected, because it's all about the iconography and the mythos of the, of your country or of your people, and why that is a powerful force for a lot of average people.
Very much
You
so.
get kind of caught up in it.
And like, I get it, right? Like, Holy Terra, Earth 38,000 years from now, looks dope as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, how many artists were needed to build those, like, 200-story tall emperor statues? Right?
Yeah.
The Empire's the biggest employer of artists in the entire galaxy.
Sure.
But it's all in glorification of itself.
Right.
And that's where it sort of begins to be spooky. Right? The windows of to quote Cameron Lauder, to paraphrase Cameron Lauder, who is a fantastic streamer. There's a video of his on YouTube. I'll find a link and post it in chat, discussing this sort of thing. But to quote him, paraphrase him, the windows of the Empire do not seek to show the outside. They seek to show the Empire looking outside. Looking forward to their further domination of the galaxy.
Gotcha.
Because, a Empire's window is going to be gilded, it's going to be massive, it's going to be 25 stories.
It's going to be covered in the faces of great men.
Yeah.
Capital G, capital M.
You look at the window, you don't look outside.
Yeah. This is just a chill stream, guys.
Yeah.
So, enter in the chat what your realizations and epiphanies about fascism were today.
Oh God.
No, it's great. I love it. No, I'm not even complaining though. I'm
no,
genuinely not.
I'm just. You ever just like start talking and realize, oh my God,
who is interested in this?
Yeah.
I have. I've had that. Great.
But it's and I think that's one of the reasons that I enjoy the warp factions so much, right? The demons and like one of the heretical Primarchs, because back long time ago, back in the year 30,000, this thing called the Horus Heresy happened in 40k.
Horus, as in like the Egyptian god?
A guy named after the Egyptian god.
Sure. Just want to make sure I heard you right.
Yeah, he was the first son of the Emperor and Primarch of some Space Marine Legion, I don't remember. And he's like, hey, this is kind of stupid. Because the Emperor...
do a fascism?
Yeah, well, that wasn't what he was really thinking was stupid. But,
sure.
I mean, there were 10 traitor Primarchs. They all have different ideas as to why they were traitor, but...
Gotcha.
Horus, a big thing back when the Emperor was an emperor, and not just the galaxy's biggest lighthouse. Because nowadays he's just on his throne in life support.
Incredible.
And he can't speak, he can't do anything, but his psychic energy is so bright in the warp, it's used as a navigation system.
Jeez.
And that's how people can navigate in 40K. But when he was alive, he was a big thing was that he was very, 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 very anti-religion.
Okay.
Because he believed that the warp, the immaterium, the second plane of existence in the 40K lore, was the biggest threat to mankind. And through systematic removal of knowledge and the removal of worship, he sought to deprive the warp of its power by pure rationality, which of course didn't work. Now 10,000 years later, the Emperor is the god of humanity. And a lot of that is because, when he was the Emperor and actually running around, he was walking around 10 feet taller than anybody else in shining golden armor, surrounded by cherubs, descending from this massive throne of pure light. Like, for someone who didn't want to be worshipped, there's a lot of iconography there, and that's part of the
and
the
that's
farce
why politicians now wear lifts.
But Horus, to get back to the thing,
sorry, you're the straight man in this situation, and I'm just the chuckle fuck.
No.
Hey, yeah. Hope. Let's see.
Howdy.
Colton is painting a pink horror blue, and I am painting some sort of miraculous, like angelic knight. I don't quite know. I've decided that it is a she, and she is some sort of Valkyrie, and that's just my headcanon, so I am painting her majestic as fuck. That's basically what's going on my side.
I support it. I've been saying that
and Colton's giving us a Warhammer history lesson.
Yes. Yeah, so anyway, Horus.
Horror. Oh. Every time I say it, some smartass is like, "Oh, what?"
Oh, same. I'm my distinct Montanan accent has we shorten the last syllable.
That's why I asked about Horus, because I wasn't quite sure what you'd said.
Because I say Colton, right? I don't say Colton. I say Colton with just an N at the end, and so horror is just it's terrible.
That's perfect.
But Horus was like, "Hey, you've been lying to us, Dad. There's this whole thing called the warp, and why are you trying to specifically hide it from us?" And a lot of others got dragged into for different reasons. For instance, the traitor Ingron became a servant of the demon god Khorne, god of warfare and violence, because he has a thing called the butcher nails.
I heard the name Khorne as I was sleeping.
Yes.
You talked about
it. He has the butcher nails in his head, which makes him only angry. He can only feel pain and rage. They've specifically changed his...
cool for him.
Oh, there's a real definite theory that Angron died a long time ago, and it's just his corpse that's been moving for 10,000 years. I really like to believe that because I feel bad for the guy. Because Khorne is they're all the demon gods are dicks in their own special way.
Of course, everyone's special.
Khorne can take away the pain, but he only does that when Angron dies, and then is respawned in like 7 weeks or 8 weeks, 8 days, 8 hours, 8 minutes, because 8 is like the special number of corn. And that would be great. You think that Angron would just keep dying on purpose, but because of the butcher nails, it doesn't like go through his mind that he can just like not fight to his full extent. It's very sad.
That is sad.
But Horus, for the most part, started the Horus Heresy because the Emperor was like, hey, don't do... Nothing exists except for this reality. And then he was lied to.
Don't do a religion.
Yeah, and then he died because of Horus. And then... everyone was like, hey, our Emperor is such a cool guy. We should worship him. And then 10,000 years happened.
That's not what I meant. She's splendiferous. And my camera utility broke.
Oh no.
I'm just trying to see if I can close it. Close the program. Apologies if my camera has stopped working for a second. There we go. And then gotta plug it in. Plug it in.
Sorry.
By the way, your voice has been perfect today so far. I don't know why I said that. Knocking on wood
good.
for that. Why would I say that?
Hope, if you want to buy me alcohol, I will do that. Like, don't tempt me.
Drunk Warhammer history.
Yeah.
I am so approving of this.
But yeah, like, and my favorite Primarch is a traitor. And he is the sort of main Primarch demon prince of Tzeentch, who's the demon god of these little guys. And his name is oh my god. I feel so silly.
Okay.
Magnus the Red.
Love it.
And he is probably the second most powerful psychic when he was alive, and not a demon. Second only to the Emperor, because the Emperor also was just fully, very powerfully psychic.
Incredible.
Arguably powerful as any of the demon gods. Because, long story short, he was the... Never mind, we don't need to talk about that.
We aren't allowed to know, y'all.
Yeah, I mean... Just Google the Emperor of Mankind, just read the 29-page wiki article, it's crazy. Yeah, it's... according to Warhammer lore, he's right here somewhere on Earth, just chilling. Right now. Also, it's heavily implied that he was Jesus.
Interesting.
Yeah. But there was a big meeting between all the Primarchs and the Emperor about psychic powers. And it was determined that psychic powers would be made illegal in the Empire. And well, he's as any good despot is, he's above the law. Yeah. But Magnus was like, oh, that's unfortunate, but what can you do? You know, oh well. But he was right during the Horus Heresy. He because at the time, the Emperor was working on a way to create essentially a massive system of subspace tunnels, so that way they didn't have to use the warp to go faster than light. So in another attempt to starve the warp of its power. So he's doing that. Horus decides to attack Earth. And then, being a powerful psychic, Magnus is like, oh no, what's happening? And he attempts to use his psychic powers to tell the Emperor. This collapses the entire subspace network.
Whoops.
Because he's too powerful.
Whoops.
And then this is seen by another Primarch as an attack by Magnus. So the other Primarch wages war against Magnus because he thinks Magnus is on Horus's side. And then two things happen. He makes a deal with Tzeentch to be like, please save everyone. And Tzeentch does, because Tzeentch is god of change, and he likes making deals where he has full control. And he turns Magnus into a demon. At the same time, so each Space Marine Legion has sort of a genetic quirk due to how they're made. It's very weird. And
it's the boy band philosophy. Everyone has their own special one that they like.
Exactly. The Thousand Sons, which was Magnus's legion, their fun little quirk was unstable mutations. So their body constantly was like trying to shift and get all gross. Growing, extra spleens and stuff. So, the non-Primarch leader of the Thousand Sons was like, okay, and also went to Tzeentch and was like, hey, what can we do to stop this? And Tzeentch was like, ooh boy, I have a spell for you. It'll solve everything. Gave Ahriman the spell. And the spell, who could have guessed, but it didn't actually solve everything.
Oh my god.
I know. What it did do was that it disintegrated every single Thousand Sons member's body and bound their soul to their armor.
I see.
And any Space Marine in the Thousand Sons with the capability of being psychic remained conscious. Everyone else just kind of died and are now puppets of the other Space Marines. Magnus did not like this, and Ahriman and Magnus are not on speaking terms at the moment. Because and I feel bad for pretty much all the traitor Marines, because
poor guys.
They didn't ask to be built and then born and then sent off into space, because that's what happened. All of them were created. All of them were children of the Emperor. But then the demon gods...
Thank you for the reminder, Hope.
Oh, yes. Let me
Hydrate.
go to that.
Which I was very good about this time, and color-coded, so that I don't accidentally drink my paint water.
But yeah, they were scattered all across the galaxy, because the demon gods were like, ooh, that would be not good if they were all together. and it's heavily implied that Zinch, like, orchestrated the whole thing, because he's sort of very good at plans, being the god of fate and change and sorcery.
I had a better brown than this.
But anyway, Forges of Mars is a very good book.
I'm glad.
To loop around.
I don't want the crafty one.
It's fun. It has very good prose. And, you know, just some very good characters.
That's cool. Well, I'm glad you're really enjoying it.
Yeah, me too.
You were
I'd hate to talk all about this and then find out I don't like the books.
Listen, you're allowed to enjoy it however you need to enjoy it.
No, I know. I'm just being silly. There's one tech priest who's just like a quarter of a skull, a brain, and a spine.
Bones in jars, man.
Well, yeah, that's sort of the end goal when you're, you know, fully mechanized transhumanists.
You have transcended.
But every single time he's on screen, he's in a different mechanical body.
Okay.
So he just like moves his spine and skull to a different body.
I feel that though. When I get beer, I have to get a flight. I can't decide. Like, I feel it though. Really. So I watched I finally watched season 2 of Marvel's What If show. And as a fervent, lifelong Peggy Carter apologist, I was very happy with the way that they basically gave her the entire season.
Hell yeah. Nice.
She was Captain, or it was Captain Carter though. It was the
like when
the reality
where
she got the serum instead. And I just love that they gave Haley Atwell a chance to kind of like play around in the character again. And not to mention, as anyone who has ever played D&D with me knows, I have a thing for tall buff ladies. So 6 foot plus tall Haley Atwell in armor,
right?
Kind of my aesthetic. But yeah, so it was cute. They did a fun job. One of the episodes was a little bit of brain rot for me, where I'm gonna be running a private campaign soon of D&D, and I'm very excited about it. I just needed something to unplug my brain a little bit, do something silly just for me.
Sure.
And it's with a few friends, and I'm gonna be running it. It's a Robin Hood inspired game.
Ooh.
So they're a bunch of merry men, and merry they thems, and I wanted to do something that was kind of like, all right, we're gonna play around in that like classic mustache twirler bad guy and, you know, thieves with heart of gold kind of play space. I'm
Sure.
excited.
Fun.
But there's an entire episode, and I remember back in the day when this comic originally came out, but there was an episode of What If that was What If the Avengers assembled in 1602?
Oh my goodness.
So they did the 1602 comic that I really loved as a kid. It was really pretty. And it was also really fun to go through it and like try to guess who everybody was, because I guess I don't know if the what if scenario was exactly the premise of the comic, but like they're saying that the modern world like there was a time slip or something, and so that time period blended in with the modern world and kind of like became a remix mashup of itself. So like they were the actual heroes, but they just didn't remember anything because of the timey-wimey bullshit, you know how it
Of
is.
course. Yeah.
And I'll have something to say about that too, because I caught up on I'm not caught up, but I watched the new Doctor Who stuff that came out on Disney Plus, and it was very fun.
I still need to.
And I love the new guy, Shudigatwa. He's really good. He's got so much joy to him. I really love it. And I love his accent. He's Rwandan Scottish.
Ooh.
So his accent's a little all over the place, and I kind of adore it.
He's the guy who's on, like, Sex Ed? Or...
Yeah, he's on Sex Ed. He was also one of the Kens in the Barbie movie.
I still need to see that.
We just watched it. It was so good. I cried a couple times. Andy and I had both really, really liked the Billie Eilish song that was made for it. What Was I Made For?
Oh,
and they utilized it so beautifully in the movie, like having different motifs of that song playing at certain thematically important moments before the song ever played, because it's just the credits song. But they used it so lovely and like sparingly, and when you knew what the song was, it really hit hard when they'd like play a little bit of the melody of it.
That's really...
It was very well done. But anyway, the 1602. So there's an entire sequence in the show, in the episode, that just got me so excited to like start working on this little mini campaign I want to run. And so Andy's in it, my partner, and for anybody who doesn't know, and he is playing he's basically playing a Hadozi from the Spelljammer thing, the ape folk.
Yes.
With wings. He's like, it's like apes if they wanted to be flying squirrels. Which is just like this really strange little like addition into the world that I enjoy. I'm gonna have like Hadozi living in the trees of this world. But I'm trying to like pepper in world building in some fun ways. Things I haven't played around with yet, whether that's different cultural touchstones or different locale, like different biomes for society and nature. So it's taking place in like a mountain highland region. I'm trying to keep it really small, so like they're not going to really venture past the kingdom.
Right.
But like I also am borrowing heavily from the Disney Robin Hood for plot. I'm like, listen, I haven't read all the Robin Hood myth, but I'm also keenly aware of how much my players are all very aware of the Disney version. So I was like, you know what, we're just gonna go. It's a mix of like Robin Hood Men in Tights and the Disney version.
That sounds like a wonderful mix.
Yeah. So like, I'm trying to come up with characters and or like NPCs and stuff. And I'm like really psyched that my Robin Hood character is called the Starling Shade. Because Robin Hood made me laugh. And she's a furball with an eye patch.
Nice,
again, big
nice.
Like buff lady in armor aesthetic. And one of my players is playing like a Maid Marian type character, and I told them, I'm like, you know Robin's gonna have a thing for your character, right? And they're like, well, that's right, thank you for asking, and that's totally fine with me. Once I sent them the picture, I was like, here she is, and they're like, okay. I'm fine with this. But yeah, I'm excited. I get to play around with. They're gonna like basically be trying to fuck up the regent's day as much as they can.
As anyone should.
I did decide I want to name him Don John because I thought Don John was a fun play on Prince John, but also the Deck of Many Things card, Don John.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So, I don't know if I'm gonna actually
cute.
like be literal about it, but like do something with a maze, or I don't remember. I think that's what the card does. It puts you in a maze.
I think it just isn't that the one that just kills you?
No, I don't remember. I'll have to check. So Mouse is running a session on Saturday in which one of the party members was absorbed into a cursed necklace. Now the party has to chase someone who stole the necklace. I'm trying to prep the maps for that.
If you need if you need a bunch of maps for a chase scene and just a chase sequence, Waterdeep Dragon Heist has a fantastic chase chapter.
Oh, nice. Oh, we're painting over the toes. Because I painted over the toes. We're committing.
Love that.
To the flub.
Oh, that's really cool, Hope.
Oh, the little fact about Barbie?
Yeah.
Happy little accident. You're right. Alrighty. So I'm kind of making it solar. So make this too. Yeah, I'm very excited about the game. It should be fun. I have like the major conceit. I've come up with the major conceit for like where did the king go? What's the deal with that? Like in the Disney version, the snake hypnotized him.
Right.
To go to war.
I always found that fascinating how often like snakes come up with hypnosis.
But they're like, well, in I think that kind of comes from cobras and like the hissy thing that they do.
Oh, that makes sense.
And the idea, it might also involve sort of the exoticism that was done to like with like snake charmers and things like that. So it's almost like they're equating the making a snake charmer a sort of a hypnotic thing into the snake itself, kind of doing it. This is a weird figure. I'm not 100% sold on what I'm doing. I love the wings, but I'm not quite sure how to do the armor. I don't want to... I worry about spoiling anything for anybody who might wander into the game. Or from the game into the stream. So I'm like, maybe not. Don't want to talk too much. But yeah, I'm I get to give them a I'm going to be working on a couple of techniques that I've been wanting to do. So one is I'm really bad at prep. So I'm working on trying to get better about prepping my my magic items.
Ooh, sure,
before session. So I'm gonna be one, I'm gonna be trying to use the magic items from like as written as much as I can. Just to, you know, the magic items as written, there are cool magic items, but I just got so bored at the concept of doing as written that I keep pulling homebrew stuff, and I love homebrew stuff, but like if we're using, say, D&D Beyond, it's like a whole thing to put them in. And it's not really guaranteed that they're very well balanced as far as design goes. And I'm kind of still a bit of an amateur when it comes to assessing the impact of on a campaign. So I'm like trying to, part of my technique's going to be random tables, but random tables that I created that have the items that I want to give them. Nice. So it's like, I don't know when they're going to get the item, but I know what they're going to be getting in general.
I think that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, I hope.
I just take the Baldur's 3 approach.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3 approach, and just give them so many. Just give them all the magic items.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will always create a table, but like just a little treat. Here's a treat for you, and then here's another treat.
And treat.
By like game 4, that 20 magic item table I've had is like down to like 3 left.
Jeez. But yeah, so I'm playing around with that. I also in an attempt to keep money from I came up with a neat idea. So they're going to be messing around with the morality of the place is like, all right, so you've got this king who is being unjust, or this king regent, and the city like that he resides in, they don't see him as like an evil bastard, because he's dicking over the poorer folk that live in the valley below the mountain, taking more of their food, taking more taxes from them. The idea being that he's then pumping that stuff into the city. So those people, their circumstances have improved. So you have a middle class and an upper class that are at best like conscientiously ignorant of where this money and the stuff is coming from, and some of them are actively complicit in it. Like, so the idea of stealing from the rich to give back to the poor, the party's not going to have much of a problem with that.
Okay, I like that conceit.
And so you've got a bunch of nobles that they can steal from, and like plan heists of carriages leaving the city. But I like this idea that to create this sense of progression in a limited space, like why would encounters be getting harder? Why would magic items, like why is your money sink becoming more plentiful but more dangerous if the Robin Hood folks, if the party is, you know, initially robbing from a bunch of people traveling through the wood, you're gonna have a bunch of people traveling and like who are shipping things and things like that, frequently, but maybe not in a ton of like amounts. They're the banking system or the trade system is comfortable enough that they are they're doing it frequently and in smaller denominations of money. So you've got less guards, you've got cheaper payouts, things like that. But as the as the merry men are causing more trouble and the rich become less confident in the stability of their station, you're going to have people that are less likely to ship their goods out of the city because it's not safe. They're going to get stolen from. And then you'll have people with higher guards, more mercenaries that are there. So you'll have these bigger treasure trucks that are going through less frequently, but the fight itself would be bigger or more dangerous for the party. But
Okay,
the payout's better.
I like that.
Yeah, so I liked the fact that it might sound a little simplistic, but I was very pleased that I had a logic for the escalation of difficulty that they would experience. Like specifically because of their behavior.
I really like game design like that, be it in TTRPG or video, where like you're seeing it like it's just a mechanical thing, right? They need to be challenged more as they get more things.
Right.
But seeing it, the like Ludo narrative of it's actually like all because of them, it's good. It's good. Like it makes all their choices feel important.
Right. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. And as they're doing their character builds, they're like coming up with the reasons for their for why their characters are doing what they're doing. They can all have different reasons, and I liked this idea of them being they can make their own gangs that they were part of. They all come together because they are they're members of gangs that have all been like culled by the king. And that was like that's going to be the big inciting incident, is that they're all scattered around.
Ooh.
And then they have to come back together because the Robin Hood character like calls them and be like, all right, so you guys are still around. Well, why don't we fuck his shit up? Because he just like scored a heavy blow against us. Maybe we return in kind.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's fun. Honestly, Baldur's Gate 3 has sort of changed like my idea of how to start campaigns.
Yeah, right?
And
I
I'm
agree.
so glad it has.
Yeah, it's a really fun conceit.
For my next home game, I have an idea that all the players don't know each other before they begin.
Mm-hmm.
And they all wake up in the same cult prison.
Nice.
Like kidnapped to be sacrifices. So the first mission is like busting the way
to
out.
Find a way out.
Yes.
Sorry. All right. Well, I'm gonna take a break because I need to muse on my figure for a little bit. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it. It's getting there. Come on, give me focus. Come on. There we go. A little bit. Yeah. Not 100% happy with it. But it's good.
I think it looks really nice.
I'm trying to figure out this like mushy thing. I had to create some clay and put it on the base in order to sit it, because it had this like horizontal base that was just like a strip of metal.
Sure.
Yes, Hope has discovered the little rewards button with the channel points. It's appreciated though, Hope. Thank you.
Very cool.
Well, we're gonna take a real quick break, just a few minutes.
Yep.
You guys take care of yourselves, take care of your needs. Whether
cycle your fluids.
Yeah. I have nothing left to say. Colton said everything that could be said. All right, everybody, we'll be right back. You take care of yourselves and stay tuned. All right.
See you soon.
Bye. Hello, welcome back.
Howdy, howdy.
We're zoomed in correctly.
That's good.
Alrighty. So I think I'm gonna try to use these contrast paints more like a watercolor on the bottom base.
That'll be fun.
See if it looks like garbage or not. Should be fun.
The great thing about painting is with enough acetone, there's no such thing as a mistake.
Aww. That sounds like our own version of Bob Ross.
You can pave anything with enough acetone.
Mm-hmm.
So, should we talk about what's happening with Nerdsmith soon?
Sure.
Specifically the vampire game that we're now casting calling for.
Yeah, so if anybody is interested, we do have an open casting call right now for our upcoming Vampire the Masquerade game, which is called Blood of My Blood, I believe. And
yes.
You can find info on our Twitter, which is We Are Nerdsmith, and or on our Discord server, which again you can find if you put !Discord into the chat, you'll find the link. I don't have a ton to say about it because it's kind of like still in development. I do know that it's got kind of a noir vibe. So if that's something that's interests you.
It certainly does for me, so I'm very excited to... Well, I already have applied.
Hey!
But I'm very excited to, hopefully, finkies crossed, get in.
I think that would be super exciting.
I may or may not have already come up with my guy.
Nice and low-key. It's how we like it.
Well, you know me. I'm just low-key about everything I do. So, yeah.
So anyway, about your Warhammer pieces you're giving us. No, but yeah, that's the big one. Another kind of fun thing that's happening, and you, of course, Colton, have a open invitation to this. Next month, on Wednesdays, I'm going to be running an afternoon stream, which is called Fantasy Facelifts. I'm going to be playing around in Hero Forge and trying to make like celebrity lookalikes.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, or like if somebody in my D&D game has a face claim, I'm gonna like try to make that a reality for them. Kind of
sure.
Thing. But yeah, it should be a good time. I'd like to have guests and things, and do some hero forging. I'm kind of taking a bit of a nod from Drawfee. The Drawfee channel, as I want to do challenges for making creatures or characters from like random internet generators.
Oh, that's
sometimes. Fun. Like I want to do that. Where it's like, here's 3 adjectives and you have to design a character based on those 3 adjectives. Or something like that, you know?
I always support a Mad Libs.
Heck yeah. But yeah, so that'll be next month on Tuesday or on Wednesday afternoons. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Yeah. Mouse gave me her gnome character from our last campaign, and I mocked up her face claim.
Fun.
And it came out really good. Ugh, my orc is peeling.
Oof. Is it
the
green stuff is peeling?
No, it's the primer. The spray paint primer peeled just a little bit. Okay.
What
I'm gonna reprime it after I finish mocking it up, so.
That makes sense.
Oh, he's lumpy, but that's okay. And then the trick to making the green stuff look a little nicer is to get a little bit of water and smooth the edges so that they blend a little better into the original sculpt. So some of these lines are coming out a little bit like scars, which is cool shit. So
Oh, that's fun.
So I might have to emphasize them a little bit, actually.
I love this color, Citadel's Rune Lord Brass, but it separates so easily, and it's so not, like, it does not mix well. Such a shame.
Alright, I'm gonna close up my liquid green stuff now. It's a little expensive. I don't want to get it all over the place. And when I say a little expensive, I mean it was like a 1 ounce bottle. No, it's a 0.4 ounce bottle, and it was like $11. But you know, occasionally spending a little bit on quality paint or material is, you know, you cheap out where you can, and then you spend a little bit on the places that you can't cheap out.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. How easy is it to make a wash out of one of these when I need so little water? Make one of these little. While I'm doing this, I should tell you, Colton, that I had a very silly did a very silly thing and bought a bunch of dumb toys from a Goodwill.
Amazing.
So now I have a bunch of fun, creepy creatures to use for D&D at some point. So this is a little doll without a head.
Spooky.
I do plan on, like, either making a tiny little helmet out of the top of the head, like the little pop-up piece that your head sticks on. Or just making it headless. And then I got this guy, which I'm pretty sure is from Tangled. But he has the dumbest look on his face. It just, if anybody needs to see it and zoom up, he just has the dumbest expression. It's so good. I'm planning on painting over him a little bit to make him a giant, like a really dumb giant. He's gonna be amazing, and I'm very excited about it.
Hope, about $7 usually. At least that's how much.
Depends on the paint. If you're using Citadel, like, little jars tend to be more expensive, ironically. They just tend to be higher quality. I cheap out a little bit on my normal paints. Like, I go to stores and you can see I spent 39 cents on this this burnt umber color. Like, I buy like Craft Smart and like basic acrylics. Oh, and his name is Hook Hand. I love it. Delightful. But in this box of random toy shit that I got some palm trees.
Ooh.
That I can use. They're pretty big. I got 2 of these. And a bunch of little these are apparently the weirdest thing, and I'll put these on the camera. These are like hopscotch like tokens.
Oh,
like if you're gonna play, it came with the best thing, which is came with a brochure that says the official rules for hopscotch.
Oh goodness! I didn't know that was the thing.
I didn't either. I threw the brochure out, but so these dolls, I'm actually gonna use them. They're rubber. I'm thinking of using them as, they might be a little too heavy to use as bases for big minis.
Sure.
But they're cool, so I like those. And then I got a bunch of like board game tokens, including these. Colton, have you ever played Blades in the Dark?
Yes.
I found a bunch of Trivial Pursuit pies.
Oh, for clocks.
So I'm gonna use them for clocks.
I love that.
I've incorporated them into D&D though, so clocks are really fun for me because I've found that they're really useful, and especially with a game that's gonna be like, if someone does a heist or if I just want a timer, it's really cool. I got a bunch of crap.
Okay.
Like I got a lock too. I was really excited about this lock. I got a padlock that used words, right?
Right.
But it's stuck open, so I don't know the code.
Oh no.
So I can't use it. I've literally been researching how to pick a lock or how to like hack a padlock, and it's really hard. So this thing either is busted or I'm just never gonna be very good at teasing the solution out of a padlock.
Oof. Speaking of Blades in the Dark,
Yeah.
the newest season of the Adventure Zone series.
Oh, is it using Blades in the Dark?
So
Nice.
it's called Steeplechase. Well, I suppose it's the last one. They've started a new season.
Gotcha.
But it's called Steeplechase, and it's Blades in the Dark, but Disney. So all the characters are employees at Steeplechase, which is a massive Disney park essentially. So all the heists are like in this in this amusement park, and it's just so fun. I think it's probably my second favorite season after the first, because the first season of Adventure Zone is just so ridiculously good.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
But yeah, no, it's brilliant, and the finale is so good. Like, it is such a fantastic heist finale. Because in the first bits of the season, they didn't really fully get behind using the flashback mechanic of Blades in the Dark.
Yeah.
But near the end, they like fully go into it, and it just becomes brilliant.
I love that. Gotta love it when a mechanic starts like clicking.
And honestly, that's another thing that I've stolen from Blades in the Dark, where like, if you need to do a flashback, do a flashback.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because
I do a combination of flashbacks and like if I am a strong proponent of, you are a player playing a game. Your character is a professional adventurer.
Yeah.
You're not going to think of everything they're going to think of. So I have no problem retconning something into the scene if it makes sense that you would have known to do that. So I usually give them a lot of leeway, or a lot of sort of wiggle room with that.
Sure. Same.
But I also give them, it's like I use like your intelligence score as a metric for this, but it's kind of like, as many times as your intelligence modifier is, you can say, oh, flashback real quick, I thought of a solution for this before we got here. Like, I was prepared for this, very Ocean's 11. Like the flashbacks in Blades in the Dark. Definitely borrowed that mechanic. I've never gotten a chance to actually play, but I am very excited to one day.
I've had an idea floating around my mind for a while. Where it's kind of based on Steeplechase.
Okay.
But it's instead of like amusement parks, it's this massive like casino floating in the sky.
Ooh, cool. I love
or
that.
like casino complex. So it's essentially like if someone went, I'm gonna put repulsor lifts on Las Vegas, and then did.
Sure.
And then sent it into low orbit. But I have yet to actually run it.
That's really neat.
Also, I'm just so happy with how grafting on 2 extra arms to this pink horror turned out.
It looks so good.
Because, you know, with the Demon Lord of Change, Zinch, you know, things get weird, and I think these little guys are like, I mean, they're designed to look lopsided, but sure. I think, you know, you can always push that envelope, and I like doing it, so.
Yeah, it looks really good.
What color should its tongue be? I'm thinking this very green.
Ooh, that would be good.
I'm going.
That's kind of cool. I like it. So I watched a really good show this weekend.
Ooh, what is it?
Station 11 on HBO.
I'm not sure I know anything about it.
Really good. So it's based off a novel. So it is only 1 season. And it is a post-apocalyptic show dealing with a pandemic that pretty much wiped out civilization as we knew it. But it I would describe it as, okay, it's gonna be a really niche reference, and I think like 4 people are gonna know it. And given our numbers, watching 1 person, and that might be me, would know it. So, Station 11 reminds me of The Last of Us crossed with the Canadian television show Slings and Arrows.
I have no knowledge.
So, I will tell you why. So, the show revolves around the actual events of the pandemic, or this, like, you know, apocalyptic scenario. A flu hyper mutated and killed off, like, it had like a 99% kill rate. And the inciting incident of the book and the show is a theater performance of King Lear, and the guy who is playing King Lear, played by Gil Garcia Bernal, he just keels over and dies on stage in the middle of a soliloquy. And the story revolves around somebody who was at the show, who ended up on the stage because he recognized, oh shit, he's having a heart attack. But it's also really weird. It's like his sister's a doctor. He's not a doctor. He's just like, well, I guess I just watched enough ER to know the signs for a heart attack. But it also was this like really beautiful, like by the end of the show, the characterization that they give this character, his name is Javim.
Sure.
The characterization they give him is like, why did you get up when you saw this happening? Like, you were the only one who knew it was happening. And he goes, no, I was just the first person to get up. I was just the first person to stand, to like do something. And so his like present day, or his like history flashback scenes, revolve around him taking, or helping one of the little girls who plays one of the daughters in the show, trying to take her home. But, like, he gets a call from his sister who works at a hospital, and she says, go to our brother's house, barricade the doors, and like, get as much food as you can and go barricade yourself in. Like, and she starts, like, reminiscing about their lives, and he's like, why are you talking like that? And she's like, I gotta go. Go to our brother's place and lock yourself in. Everything's over. Everything's ending.
Oh dear.
And so he's with this little 9-year-old, and he's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this 9-year-old girl? We're on the fucking subway, and he takes her. They're in Chicago, and they end up, like, her family's not around, like, they're not at their house, and so he ends up taking this girl to his brother's, and the three of them end up holed up in this apartment for, God, like 5 months or something.
Oh gosh.
He bought $9,000 worth of groceries. He just maxed out his credit card. He's like, all right, we're going. But so that's, like, the past story. But then in the apocalypse, like 20 years later is the rest of this show. 20 years later, the little girl ends up with a traveling group of Shakespearean actors.
Oh, that's cool.
Who just go around and perform Shakespeare for the remnants of humanity that exist. They were called the Traveling Symphony, and they just go around and perform to sort of remind people of what was and help them, you know, forget their troubles for a little bit. And yeah, it's this, like, really weird. There's even, like, an attempt at, like, making it feel a little like Lost. Because, like, there's a weird mystery. Station 11, like, the title is from a comic book that the girl gets from the lead actor in the King Lear play. Oh, and it's it's like a sci-fi comic written by the actor's ex-wife, who's also a character. And they are constantly referring back and referencing lines from the book, because she was just obsessed with it. It kind of kept her sane during the lockdown and when they were trying to get out and leave. And it's just this, like, really, it made me fucking bawl my eyes out at the end of the show. It was so good and so, like, heartfelt and like, understanding of the, like, the darkness that can be around when things like that happen, or, like, in an apocalyptic scenario, like, the kinds of depths that people will fall to, or when people try to figure out how to how to keep going and how to, like, restructure civilization and shit like that.
Right.
But it's also really, like, affirming too. Like, it actually has, like, a bit of a happy, hopeful ending, which I really wasn't expecting from it. And I won't continue telling you plot. But if anybody is interested, it's on HBO. And it's real good. Station 11. I dumped my hand in brown paint.
Oh no.
So I have smears on my table. And on my hand. At least it's not on my carpet. It's just on
that is good.
There it is. I just, like, put my hand in it, is what happened. Alrighty. So let's see. And then we as usual, fall into our zone.
Yes. Sorry about that, chat.
No, it's called the hyper-focus mode. It's okay. You are valid. I shouldn't have watered down the base because it's made of air clay and it got a little sticky.
Oh no.
It's rehydrating. Not quite sure what I'm gonna do here.
I'm really happy with how this guy's turning out.
Yeah, it looks great.
Probably need a coat more or two on a few bits, but I think I'm pretty much done with this guy.
That's awesome.
I'll actually give that second coat on his tongue right now. I think it's dry enough. Oh, also need to remove that little string.
Continuing to try to use this like plasmatic bolt color for the skin. I realized it's the color I used for my tiefling yesterday or last time, but I just really love the color. What are you saying? Hey Colton, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you now. What were you
Did my
saying
internet
though?
do a little
You got a little
silly
cut
thing?
off just for a second.
I was saying that was abstract, right? The
Abstraction, yeah.
abstraction. That's it. I love these guys, but they're so ridiculous.
Mhm.
Like, look how far back I have to push
What
it
a little
to get
man.
to get the full banner in shot.
What a little man.
They're just silly little guys.
They really are. And that's delightful. Warhammer needs more silly little guy.
I agree. The Christmas special mini this year
Uh-huh.
was a little Santa goblin.
Oh, I love it.
Because the orcs have gobos, which are like
Mhm.
just small orcs.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it's a Christmas one, and I really
Great.
no.
You okay?
Yep.
What happened?
Just spilled half a bottle of striking scorpion green on my mat.
No.
Looks like
All the tongues.
someone
Paint all the tongues right now.
looks like some green screen got murdered.
So here's what you do, Colton. You put your horror in that, and you take a picture. And that's your kick-ass final picture. No, you do what you gotta do.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
I need to get some more paper.
On screen. Ugh. I feel like my vision hasn't really come to fruition with this little guy. I don't know. I'm not 100% with him. But I do like this little bit of orange that I'm using now. And coloring over the silver and then dabbing it dry with my tissue. Creates kind of a rusted out silver. A little hard to see. I mean, yeah, that's definitely what I'm going for, is like the Sky Paladin sort of.
I've returned.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Oh god. That's weird.
What?
This paint smells like a crab.
Okay. That's wow.
Not exactly what I was expecting.
Yeah.
But, you know, here we are.
Ooh. Okay. I have a better sense of this. I love the idea of her wearing this like dark dress underneath her arm.
This is why, chat, when you're painting models, always paint on something. Don't paint on the table.
Yeah.
Because
I have those buffers.
Yeah. Look at my great horror instead of my horrible mess.
Yeah, look how amazing the horror looks.
I think striking Scorpion Green has lost its being on models privileges for a while. For this terrible, traitorous action.
Oh, you're blaming the paint now.
Oh yeah, no, God, it's not my
Okay.
fault. Are you kidding? I'm faultless in all things. I've never done anything wrong in my life.
I know this,
Ever.
and I love you.
I love you.
Money, please. Anyway, that's a little better.
I got what you were quoting. I just had to move away
Oh
from
no,
my
you're okay.
foot pad for a sec.
I'm going to grab some black and something a little
Okay.
different.
Let's do something different.
Me too.
do the second coating of its tongue as Soulstone Blue, I think.
I love the idea of this handle being like an ebony. And dark wood. Is it clad?
Also, this is a totally non sequitur.
Of course.
But y'all should listen to Locals, parentheses, Girls Like Us, by Underscores. It's such a good song. And definitely listen to it with headphones, because it just so good. Like, I cannot stress enough how... Yeah. Yes. Oh, also, I need to do that.
I'm having trouble with my focus today. I'm so sorry. Focus, maybe? Nope. Still wants to look at my paint. The song was something parentheses Girls Like Us.
Yeah, I will post it in chat. Give me one moment. I'm gonna be posting a bunch of links in real quick.
Oh, yeah, let me make sure. Well, try to post one and I'll give you mod privileges if it doesn't let you.
Yes, it did it.
Right. Don't time him out.
It's only 15 seconds, it's fine.
Let me find you in here and digital. Allowed.
Oh, okay.
Hold on a sec.
Sorry.
You're good.
It was my bad.
Here, I'm going to... Ugh. Hold on. Unban.
No worries.
Annoyed and confused. Okay. And then mod. Annoyed and confused. There. Now you should be able to do something.
Wonderful, thank you.
Yeah, you gotta love that journey.
So first off, this video, favorite video on the internet. This video is my Roman Empire. It's 2 minutes. Everyone should watch it.
I will watch it after stream. I'll check it out. But anyone else, feel free to watch it now.
That second one is the music. The song I was talking about.
Yeah.
And then that third one is the link to Cameron Lauder's stream where he discusses fascism in regards to aesthetics and 40K, excuse me. You won't catch me listening to corporate propaganda about what I should call the game that I spend money to play.
You call it what you want.
I want to call it 40K, goddammit.
Because it's fun.
Traitorous brain with 40,000.
God, it's not even like... Let's talk about aesthetics for a minute. 40K just sounds better.
Right?
Okay, let's see if I can fix my model. Bad son.
Right. Gonna see how that dries. Oh god.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the club. The oh god, I hope I didn't ruin it club.
Oh no, I was saying oh god because the paint pot is now covered in paint.
Fun.
It doesn't seem to know that its job is to have paint on the inside. The DN Darling. This is a pink horror banneret, which is a Warhammer model for the armies of chaos. And I'm painting him blue because I wanted to. Fun fact about pink horrors: when they die, they turn into two blue horrors, and my blue horrors for my army are being painted pink. This little guy.
You rebel, you.
I know. I'm just waiting for some grognard to just start yelling at me when I bring this army to a table.
You're excited.
I will know I had won before the battle even started.
Ah, so this is a psychological trick.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be, an army of a commander of an army of Tzeentch without psychological tricks. That just doesn't sound fun.
Mm-hmm. Gave up on my drinking water.
Oh.
Well, because I needed a different color. My water's yellow right now. And I needed to be able to paint in blue and white. And I'm like, I can't do it. Not with this
Bottle.
Paint water. Alright.
That'll do it.
So... what do I want to do with this brown? I'm not sure.
Well, we'll let this guy's tongue dry.
Never.
Gonna start finishing up this little pink horror.
And so for anybody who doesn't know, nobody knows except for you and me, Colton, next week we intend to do a fun little bit of crafting with our painting. As Colton's going to be assembling some figures, and I'm going to be building the base for my my beholder, spectator, whatever, my aberrant creature.
The one with a lot of eyes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this guy. Oh, that's right. I haven't done the eyes on him yet.
Ooh.
He's only got the one visible eye. I'll have to dab these with yellow and get him to pop. I could do that next. If I'm gonna let something dry. So I keep putting the wings back on this one to see if it looks any good. The gold that I have, unfortunately, is like a real like sparkly gold. It's like literally
Sure.
got glitter going through it. So I'm grabbing an orange and very gently going over it to kind of try to chill it out a little bit. Be a slightly deeper gold.
Oh yeah, I'm really liking that so far.
I'm trying. I'm not 100% sold on it, but it's gonna look cool from a distance.
And
and that's all that minis are good for, distance.
Yeah, like something that I think always needs to be said is that no matter what it looks like, it's going to look better than just a unpainted gray model standing there.
Yeah.
So paint your minis.
And embrace the imperfect.
Yes.
I gotta get some more silver.
Read that one book where it's like the art of Zen and motorcycle maintenance, but replace all the motorcycle bits with painting minis.
It starts with M.
Yeah. Right? That's how philosophy works, right?
I will say my troll's looking pretty good. Still a little bit of cleanup to do, but I've mostly gotten rid of the lines on his arms and his head. But there's still that, like, the pink horror. He's so jolly. Like, he's so jovial looking. His pose is really good.
Honestly, some of the pink horror poses are so fun.
Sorry, blue horror, I guess, technically.
Oh, yes. Yeah, some of the blue horror poses are so fun. Like, let me... Here, one sec.
For some reason, my camera is not happy with me today. My mini camera is not happy with me today.
I've returned. Like,
welcome back.
It's just having a time throwing that fireball.
I like him. He's fun. Alright, so let me see what happens here. If I get back into view,
who's
that's exposure.
Just running so fast on all his legs. His only connection to the base is his hand.
Amazing. Alright, there we go. That's a little better. I don't know why my light's also going a little funky too. This is a hard one because of how metallic it is.
Sure.
It shines really intense. No, undo the gain. And then lower that. There we go. That's a little better. Alright. So I've let out a little bit of silver. I'm gonna try to improve some of the armor edges. You watch any anime, Colton? Like,
yes.
Okay, I don't watch much, but this particular song makes me think of the ending theme song to Samurai Champloo, which I have stuck in my head very often. It's a very
that is one that I desperately need to rewatch. I watched it when I was a youngin' and remember like nothing about it except for that I liked it.
and that it's Spike. It's Steve Bloom's voice as the main character.
Yeah. Right now I'm watching JJK. So good.
I don't know anything about anime. I opened a can of worms by asking.
So it's called Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay.
Or JJK for short. And
Sure.
it's good. It's really good. It has a really, really cool magic system. In general, and like has some really cool creatures in it. And yeah, no, it's just it's cool. The like my favorite bit of it is they in the magic system they have something called the domain expansion.
Okay.
Which it's essentially pushing your soul outwards and enclosing space. In like moving your soul outwards to enclose a space. And in a domain, your ability automatically hits of yours.
Okay.
So it's like this one hit kill sort of move, but like it's very like yeah, it's just it's a very neat bit of world building.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets like very made even cooler in the manga because the anime isn't to where the manga is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just fun. If you ever do watch it, it would probably be a smart move not to get attached to any character.
Okay.
Just
Noted.
as a, just a little warning.
Noted.
Characters tend to have run-ins with things that might be above their pay grade, so to speak.
Gotcha.
Which isn't great for their health usually.
Sure. May I non sequitur again?
Oh.
So, if anybody doesn't watch John Oliver, on HBO, it came to my attention because of John Oliver that despite their best efforts, Disney is losing their copyright to Steamboat Willie starting yesterday.
Yes.
And the fucking moment that it happened, 3 different things were officially announced via trailers. Like, they had been working on them, waiting for the copyright to lift.
Yeah.
It was incredible. There's a horror movie coming out.
Mickey's Mousetrap.
Yeah. There's a video game called Infestation 88. And then there's another one that's like a cartoon mouse first-person shooter. That is like, it looks like Bendy and the Ink Machine if it was a first-person shooter. Which is honestly all I wanted Bendy and the Ink Machine to be. So yeah, I was just supremely amused by how quickly, like, they were just waiting. They knew exactly, like, all right, we're releasing on the day it comes out. We're busting out that publicity.
I mean, I think the thing is, like, if you're going to do that, given with how, Disney is, you're going to need to do it now. Like, you need to do it the moment it's...
Before they change something or get their...
Yeah.
They're just gonna stop using Steamboat Willie. I mean, they still have plenty of Mickey.
Yeah.
Also, Peter Pan in the public
domain.
And Tigger. Apparently. Ooh. Safety. I mean, but my favorite thing is that John Oliver, they must, at this point, that team must have a mascot making department.
I'm sure.
Because they made a Steamboat Willie like costume.
Oh my god.
And they have someone just foul mouth talking out of it. Or like just spouting, very appropriate, just spouting anti-fascist rhetoric. It's really funny. They're just like, so hey Willie, we can just do whatever we want? Yeah, whatever the fuck you want, John. Except they can't, because technically Steamboat Willie is silent. So that voice might still put them in some trouble.
Oh, probably. It's Disney after all. It's not like they're litigious.
Not at all. Listen, John Oliver managed to coordinate his viewer base into voting and successfully winning New Zealand's Bird of the Century competition.
I love that.
Yeah.
My favorite thing that he ever did was the Eat Shit Bob musical number.
Yeah. That was pretty good. He did do an entire section on, or did an entire bit on a small car dealership who made really high concept movie parodies for their commercials.
Oh.
And he loved it so much. He was like, hey, we've written a script for you. And we want you to take, we will pay you money to, or rather, we will give you the script. The only requirement is that you don't get to read it until you agree.
Oh my god.
But like, think of the branding opportunity.
Oh yeah, god, I would.
And so what he did, or what the team did, was they wrote a script that was a massive, like basically some shot for shot, but mostly just an homage to the movie Magnolia.
Oh my, wait.
And they legitimately did it. It was incredible.
That's so good.
You gotta love it when people are good sports, you know? Though I am mad at John Oliver for introducing the phrase business daddy into my vocabulary.
Oh.
It's when he talked about AT&T. Referred to it as business daddy. This guy's like, what are you gonna do, business daddy? You gonna punish me?
Oh dear.
It was great. Hope said, though, this title Steamboat Willie is still copyrighted, so people have to call it Rat Boy Drive Tugboat.
Oh my god.
I would watch Rat Boy Drive Tugboat. I think that's great.
God, I say this about literally every Simpsons bit, but the Rat Boy Simpsons bit.
Oh, I don't remember.
Where it's like, aw, little Maggie, aw, Lisa, and who can forget Rat Boy? And it pans to Bart, but like a rat version of Bart, because like Homer's like taking meds, so his like cognition is weird. So it's like, who can forget Rat Boy?
Oh my god.
It's just like, yes.
My favorite on meds joke is from Parks and Recreation, when Leslie has the flu when she's in the hospital. And she's like, I'm fine. I can, like, you don't have to worry about me. I'm like, no, you're epically sick. You have to stay in bed. And she goes, really? Would a sick person be able to do this? And she just sits there. And they're like, well, do what? Did I not just do a cartwheel? No. They're just like, okay, yeah, you have to sit down.
That's just me, like, fully healthy.
Could a unwell person do this?
Um, Also, so for those of you who did watch the first Link, the 2-minute short film, that is me. Like, that is what flashes in my skull anytime anyone mentions my little guys. And it's problematic, and I love it.
So if you want some insight into Colton's brain, click the link. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it, but we'll see.
Oh, Hope, whenever I mess up, it's also The Simpsons, where it's just, I am smart. SMRT. SMART. Which, fun fact about that line, that was an actual mistake by the voice actor.
Incredible.
And then they it's just like sewing characters, so they just, it's like, that's now a Homer Simpson line. Thank you very much.
No, the line that I quote too much, even though it doesn't make sense, is "Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious." Again, from Parks and Rec. Also, the one that Mike Schur was so angry that Chris Pratt came up with. He's like, "It's the best line in the show, and I'm so angry."
Is it the I googled your symptoms and you have internet connectivity issues?
Yeah, it says you could have network connectivity issues.
It's so good.
It's so fucking good. As much as I'm kind of meh about Chris Pratt now, that is legitimately one of the funniest things.
It is the one thing I will give Chris Pratt actual props for.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with this little guy. Turned out very well.
Happy to hear that.
So what I've been doing is I've been giving each horror a different eye color and a different mouth color. So like their tongue and eyes are different, even though their like skin tone and teeth and stuff are all the same. Just to denote like a little bit of individuality, and I'm pleased with how it's turning out.
I'm gonna make her skin gray.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh, one of the episodes of What If that I really enjoyed. They got like so many of the voice actors. I think the only person who like didn't come back for voice acting was Scarlett Johansson.
Sure.
And they had Lake Bell play Black Widow, and Lake Bell's the actress who plays Poison Ivy in the Harley Quinn show.
Oh, yeah.
And every so often when she'd like be a little snarky or like say something a little fast, I'd be like, "Oh, there's just Ivy right there." Fun story, or fun little fact, Lake Bell starred in a movie about voice actors called In a World.
Oh, cool.
And it's like about her trying to make it, like her character trying to make it as a voice actor from a family of voice actors. And it's pretty fun.
Nice.
Very, very fun if you enjoy like behind the scenes of voice acting.
I definitely do.
But so one of the episodes that I thought was, so there were a couple of cool highlights from this season. One of which was they made an entirely original character who was a Mohawk woman. and they did most of the entire episode in their native language.
Oh, that's really cool.
It was really neat. But the other one that I thought was really cool was Hela from Thor.
To Kate
instead,
Blanchett.
Yeah, they had Kate Blanchett, which is awesome, and she was super funny. Like, she had such fun comedy chops. And it basically was like, what if Hela had it was Hela and a character, possibly the villain from what's it called? Ten Rings. My terrible brain wanted to say Shin-Chan, and that's not who it is.
No.
Shin-Chan and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
I kind of stopped caring about Marvel like 4 years ago, so I have no idea.
Anyway, so there was a Chinese character and Hela, and the premise was basically like, what if Hela, instead of being sent to hell, or like was basically given the Thor treatment and was banished to Midgard without her powers. So she met up with this, she found like the temple where they train you how to, like, basically, I bet you if you watch the movie that it originated from, you'd get all the references.
Sure.
But yeah, it was really cool, like, her turning into kind of a hero character. Sorry, Shang-Chi.
Yes, okay, yeah.
Wenwu was the character that she met up with. But it was really interesting. There was kind of like a romancy vibe between them, and it was fun watching Hela get taken down a couple pegs, which was fun. And they incorporated Hela quite a bit in the season, and then Peggy was a huge part of the season. They just must have a lot of fun working with Haley Atwood.
I mean, I would. She's
but then because of that like connection, or because of Peggy, she's like besties with Black Widow, which is also really cute.
Oh yeah,
like them hanging out and stuff is fun. Like, they have the similar relationship that she and Steve had. But they did such a beautiful job with like parallels with multiple universes. The idea of just like they keep missing each other, or like Peggy has to keep giving things up and can't be with Steve. Like, it's sad, but like really well done. Yeah, I really liked this season. They did like, what if Nebula had joined the Star Corps? And so it was like a noir where she was like a city cop. That was kind of cool. They did what if Peter Quill had basically been taken by his father? What if Yondu hadn't kept Peter and had delivered him to his father? And so he basically starts destroying planets, and then Peter ends up back on Earth in the 80s. And they assemble the Avengers, but it's made of a bunch of different people. So like Kurt Douglas is Ant-Man, and who else? Like Thor shows up, Black Panther's dad, because Peter's basically being used as a weapon. But
right.
Like, because Ant-Man's there, Hope is there too, his daughter, Evangeline Lilly's character from the Ant-Man movies, and she's like a little kid and she's Peter's age. And so like they bond and become friends, because she's like, he's just my age, he's just a kid. And it's so cute. And now I want to just see like a what if of like him actually having like a family.
That would be fun.
But yeah, they did a good job, and like I said, they they had Kurt Russell and they had Kurt Russell and Michael Douglas, and pretty sure everybody who was in it were the actors from the original. But then like Peggy's there because it's a reality where, you know, Peggy's just like gray-haired and she works for S.H.I.E.L.D. and
Right.
and in that version, because Peggy's around in that version for whatever reason, or no, it was from a different one from the Peggy thing, but when Peggy's Captain America, Bucky doesn't die, so Bucky's like a fucking senator.
Oh.
And he's old because he just aged out.
Right.
But in the 80s one, if Peter shows up, they bring in Winter Soldier, and Peggy's just like, holy shit, it's fucking Bucky. Like, she finds out about him. It's cool.
Nice.
But yeah, they did a really nice job this season. I liked last season for the novelty of it, and this season felt pretty fun too.
I still haven't even watched the first season.
It's okay. I really am digging the animation though.
Yeah, from the clips I've seen, it's
pretty fun.
gorgeous.
It's also really fun for the actors who didn't get to have these cool moments to get like, even though it's not live action, it's cool to be able to say, no, like, look at this kick-ass fight scene my character's in. Like, it's so cool.
I do really want to watch the Ultron episode.
Oh yeah, sure.
From the first season, I just have never gotten to it.
At some point, Killmonger gets Infinity Armor.
Oh,
it's
nice.
Awesome. Good night, Hope. We're gonna wrap up soon too.
Oh, good night. It was great seeing you, or talking to you, I guess.
Thank you so much for coming in.
And we'll talk to each other on what, the 8th? Is that what we agreed? I don't remember. But see you.
I did discover one way to soften and make a little more detail to these pieces. God damn it. I'll figure out my camera. What's going on with my camera?
Oh no.
No, I just don't know why it keeps blinking. Just keeps unplugging. I might need to check which outlet I have this plugged into. The problem when you have a webcam attached to an extension cable.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm trying to get it to like behave. I'm just trying to get it to fit because it's on the other side of my computer than normal.
Sure.
But anyway, before I'm kind of wrapped up here, what I've figured out is on this wreath that I painted gold, I am going over the leaves in a tiny little bit of silver, which adds this little bit of interest detail, but also makes it just like look a little more intentional. So it is helping with the feeling of like not quite vibing with the colors. It's just giving something else to look at.
Sure.
And then it makes it look way more detailed. I mean, it is, but I think it makes it look a little more professional than it is.
Right.
It's all about
I think I think it looks very, very nice.
I'm liking it more now that I found this little silly thing to do. Alrighty. Shall we wrap up?
I think we probably should. I'm done with this guy, I'm done with my other guy, and I got a quick code on Another that I might I'm probably going to paint on my own because I have way too many models that I need to paint.
Well, I am so proud of the fact that I've gotten almost all of my minis that I own primed.
Nice.
Like they're almost all ready to go. The big project will be taking the ones that I have that have clear parts to them.
Sure.
I have a handful of those, and I'm gonna have to hand prime those because I want to use clear paint on the clear parts.
Right.
Which I'm very excited about because I think I've told you. I'm gonna try the high contrast paints to see how those look, but I also have stained glass, like fake stained glass paint.
I think that's going to look gorgeous.
Yeah, it's gonna cover it nicely. The contrast paints are gonna have the benefit of getting into the little nooks and crannies, and also keeping the sculpture really intact. The only downside to the stained glass paints is that they are a little fabric painty, like they puff up a little bit.
Right.
So I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be like the best way to do it. But we'll see how it goes. I am really excited because I have a nightmare to.
Ooh.
I have a nightmare and a displacer beast.
Fun.
And several spellcasters that have cool. My absolute favorite is a tiefling spellcaster who is a necromancer, and he's raising a I'll put it on camera. He's raising a zombie on the model.
Oh, that is real neat. That's real
see
neat.
if I can get the damn thing focused. Maybe. Yeah. You don't want to be focused. There we go.
Oh yeah, that's.
But yeah, so there's just this little, like, I'm gonna do this like creepy green, like necromancy stuff. But he also looks really cool. Like the tiefling looks really cool. I am excited.
Nice.
Alrighty. Oh, thank you for the picture.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling okay about this. Her skin looks a little mottled, but we'll make it work. Alright, everybody. Let's call it there. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for joining
You
us.
certainly are.
And I think the last thing I'm gonna do before we sign off is I'm gonna glue this real quick. Not to rush things, but I'm really excited to do it. I had to be very careful and invest in some gel super glue. Because cheap super glue tends to be liquid and it gets everywhere.
I can confirm.
I'm just gonna hold this until we leave.
Did I tell the story on this stream where I glued these two fingers together?
Yep, I've done that.
Yeah, 2 days they were together, and I
googled it, and when I found out that I could use acetone, like I had nail polish remover, so that helped a lot. I now know that that's the trick. Is nail polish remover. Just a little bit more in here. More secure. So, thank you all for joining us tonight. We'll be here next week, same time, so 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We have a bunch of new, or not new, but we have our new calendar up on our Discord and on our socials. So you can find us on Twitter at We Are Nerdsmith. You can find us on Instagram at We Are Nerdsmith with underscores between each word. Because we can't get our old one. You can also find us on Blue Sky. You can find Nerdsmith on Blue Sky. I'm not going to repeat the name of that because it's really long. Oh, I spelled Twitter wrong. That's why. I was like, why is it not working? Because it's not Twitter.
Twitter.
And if you join us on Discord, be sure to do so, because this month we've got our movie nights again, and Alora has set up a lovely round of sci-fi movies for this month that we're gonna watch, including the first Alien and Alien, the first film in the Alien franchise.
Right.
I think Passengers, that Jennifer Lawrence Chris Pratt movie, which I have thoughts and opinions on, but I'm afraid to voice them if Laura loves that movie for whatever reason.
I have thoughts and opinions as well, and I think I know what thoughts and opinions you have.
Yep.
And I think
It's all good. Anyway, so but I love Michael Sheen, so I might watch it.
Right, he's in that.
He's the robot bartender a la The Shining. It's got a similar vibe to The Shining bar. And then I'm trying to think of some of the other ones, but there's gonna be a bunch of cool ones. There'll be, each week we'll do a movie watch. You can find them on Discord or pinned in our Twitter profile. You'll find the calendar of events for this year, or for this month rather. Is technically this year though. It's 2024. Happy New Year, everybody, by the way.
Yes.
Hope your year is if your last year wasn't very good, I hope it's better. If your last year was good, I hope it's even better. I think she's almost done. Gosh, she's pretty. It's a really nice. I think I'm going to modify the base here with some cotton to make it look like clouds.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah. And she's got this beautiful navy blue or midnight blue dress, the sashes and the tunic underneath. I made it all the same color, so it looks like she's got this pretty dress. And now I want to design this character because I love it.
Do it.
Anyway, before we go, Colton, do you have anything you want to plug?
Yes. I am on the podcast For Light and Dice. We are a Star Wars TTRPG actual play podcast that is set in the High Republic era of Star Wars, where things never go wrong and it's perfectly fine, and it's good. It's great. Because nothing ever bad happens.
And nothing
Star
can
Wars.
go wrong. Whirring, panicked R2 noises.
Pretty much.
Okay, I have to make that for you now.
Yes, please. Oh my god. I need that.
And nothing can go wrong.
So we just finished our first season, starting our second,
awesome.
and it's going well. And then I have a secret other thing that I can't really talk about at this very moment, but it'll be fun, and I'm excited. So
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's see, we have Dragon's Crown coming back this week on Friday night. We do not have. Well, we just wrapped up the Copper Pyramid last week. The finale is being edited right now and should be on our YouTube channel very soon. And let me look at Nerdsmith's calendar and see if there's anything else I'm missing from this week. Tomorrow they're watching. So tomorrow on the Discord server we're watching Ex Machina. Which I haven't seen yet, so I'm actually really excited about that. They're going to be showing it. We're going to be watching it on, Ex Machina is the name of the, Ex Machina is the name of the event, of us watching sci-fi movies.
Nice.
Tomorrow we're watching Alien, is the movie we're watching tomorrow at 6 p.m. on the Discord server. The other movies are Pacific Rim, Ready
Love
Player
that
One, Blade Runner 1982, and
Ooh.
Passengers. Those will be the movies we're watching.
Is it the director cut or the theatrical
A
release?
great question. I don't know.
Okay.
Um,
Because one is very much better.
I know. I've seen the director's cut, and that's the only one I've seen.
It's... Yeah. Yes.
Use your words.
I don't have words.
Is it
I'm
better?
a writing major.
Is it better?
Yeah, because
Okay.
the theatrical release has this really weird, like, inner
Noir
monologue
narration?
that happens. So bad. It's so cheesy. It's so corny. It's just not good.
Yeah.
And the director's cut removes it, and it's a much better film for
Beautiful. All right. So, last but not least, please be sure to check out our sponsors, World Anvil, which we will have some new content up very soon for our World of Veil. Thank you, Colton, for helping me with some of that.
yeah, of course.
And Die Hard Dice. They, as of today, are off their extended break, so they will be resuming shipping orders. So use the discount link below or use Nerdsmith when you check out to get 10% off your purchase. We are also sponsored by Grinding Coffee, a Black LGBTQ owned small business. They sell coffee and coffee subscriptions. You get another 10% off if you use Nerdsmith at the at your checkout. And finally, we are affiliates of Hero Forge. They just wrapped up their adventure calendar, but today is Tuesday, so it is technically Treasure Tuesday. And the new feature that came out new assets that came out were several pole arms that just came out. So there's some halberds and stuff. Very, very cool looking. And let's see, I think that's it. So next week, we're going to be working on terrain and construction. So we're going to be making some stuff. Not just painting, but we will be actually like building some things. And different multimedia crafting. It'll be fun.
I'm excited.
Colton, it's been so lovely to see you again. I'm very excited about next week.
Me too. It's been wonderful to see you as well.
Yay. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. A wonderful week. Be smart. Make good choices. And please live life to the fullest and paint from the heart.
Yes.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
What was that? Bye-bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad.
I guess.